I think that people don't understand how ineffective you become when your reins are too long. So
nice run, Fallon.
Taylor,
as always, makes an incredible entrance.
First and far at the age of 13. Then she broke her neck. She overcame all of that.
Fallon's now world champ.
World champion.
Congratulations. She knew that she could do whatever she set her mind to.
Rolling. What's up, Flomies? I am back. Chewie is back. In case you guys were wondering how Chewie is doing, she is doing really, really good. She's gonna be in my lap for this entire vlog, but I know a lot of you guys ask how she is. She's doing really, really good. She is very fat now that she has been rescued.
Let me pan down.
Look at this belly. Look at this belly. Okay, if you want to see, all of her hair is on and popping. She's brand new. Okay, she's gonna be in my lap. I am gonna get to work. You guys loved the last vlog so much about beginner mistakes that I wanted to make a part 2. I do have some notes that I'm gonna be looking at, so I'm gonna be checking that out. Also, little Miss Lilo is here in the background making cute little baby noises. You're welcome. Okay, so when we talked about beginner mistakes in the first one, I showed you guys a lot of things that I could think of, but right when I got done with the vlog, I was so frustrated because I have so many more that I believe would benefit you so much. So because so many of you guys hit the like button on that one, I'm taking that as the message that we need to make another one, and we can even make so many more of these beginner tip videos for you if you really love them. So if you do, smash the like button. That's how I'm gonna know that you want more of these. Share them with people all over on your social media so that I know that you guys wanna see more of this content. Okay, so in the first video, I talked about your reins being too long. I think that people don't understand how ineffective you become when your reins are too long. So when beginners have their reins super long, you can't slide your hand down and get to the right spot right when you get to the barrel. So what happens is you start running across the pin and you end up in the middle of your rein, creating this moment for your horse where you're pulling to the inside, but your horse is looking up into the outside instead of really having your hand slid down with a great body position so that your horse can come around and be really free in the shoulder and not a ton of pressure up here. So that is step 1. Step 2, not entering soon enough, which I talk about all of the time in my private group, thehorseboss.com. I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday and do a whole thing of these tips where you can do a live Q&A with me. Feel free to join me. The link's in my Instagram bio. But with the bosses, I talk all the time about don't not enter. You gotta start entering, because once you start entering, you'll start getting in the rhythm of competition. If you just practice to practice, you'll only be good at practicing. And when you feel a little bit of pressure, you're probably more likely to fail. So the next one is that really makes me crazy is not investing your own time and a little bit of money into your journey. Here's what I mean by that. If there's a barrel race or a rodeo going on in your town, or a backyard play day or whatever where you can go watch people compete, if you don't have a horse yet, your horse is lame, you're expecting whatever, you're injured, whatever it could be that's keeping you from riding right now, jump in your car, find a schedule of barrel races that you can go watch, go check out, even if it takes 2 hours to get there, so you can sit down, take notes, look at the bits, look at the equipment, look at how things are adjusted, look what the winners are doing, and just sit there. I wanted to enter a bodybuilding bikini show in 2017. So in 2016, I drove myself to Lubbock, Texas to watch a bodybuilding show by myself. I didn't know anybody there. I was the weird guy in the back of the room that had no idea what was going on. I seriously was just like this, just watching super tan people in really great shape, one after another, get on stage. And then it made me a lot less nervous to talk to a coach about what I wanted in the future. So hopefully you will begin to invest a little bit more time and energy into your sport instead of just watching it like on your phone and just kind of thinking about it and not really taking any action toward it. That's a big, big step. Okay, the next one, not getting a mentor. So the big thing with other sports, if you want to play basketball or golf or tennis or whatever, you typically don't just learn as you go and then try to enter something, right? You typically want to get somebody that's already been there and done that. So getting yourself a mentor is going to create this big jump in being a beginner for a long time and then actually going to be a strong competitor. So when finding a mentor, here's what I can really highly suggest. Step 1, get a mentor that is doing something at the level that you want to be competing in. If you're right now just being able to get on a horse, but you want to be able to like comfortably lope around feeling confident. This is just an example. Find somebody that's already confidently loping around. You don't have to necessarily pay that person, and typically mentors are super forthcoming about the information. The one thing people love talking about is themselves. We're all guilty of that. We love, love, love to talk about ourselves. So if I approach someone and say, hey, you seem a lot more confident at the lope than I am, can you show me how you did that? And hopefully with kindness, they will show you. But remember, this is not a friendship contest. This is about you learning. So that person doesn't have to necessarily win a personality contest. You just need to glean that information from them and then move on to the next mentor once you master that step. The reason that I say that brings me to the next beginner topic, which is change mentors once you know that level pretty well. What I mean by that is don't lock yourself into a trainer, a stable, a mentor, whoever it may be, a coach, all together for the end of time. Because there are a lot of mentors that in the beginning, you're gonna think that person is doing really, really well at the sport, but with more education and more time, you realize that there's another level beyond that that you'd like to go. Now, you could hurt feelings in between this step and you could get really frustrated, or you could feel like you're not even gonna take the next step because you're uncomfortable telling that person that you'd like to also learn from someone else. So if you're a beginner, take the first steps of finding a mentor and then creating an end date. I'd like to ride with you for 30 or 60 days, or until I'm able to lope as comfortably as you, whichever comes first before I move on to the next level. They'll understand, they'll have clear expectations, clear boundaries, and you'll get a great lesson without having to break anybody's heart in the end. So as you go up, remember that you're gonna need a different mentor for every single level. Right now, I am riding with a trainer with the same abilities, and we bounce stuff off of each other nearly every single day. And that is the next level that I am on with my personal riding journey, where I've won a lot, but I haven't won it all. And I'm ready to keep learning and keep expanding. So I ride with a trainer several days a week. I think that there's never gonna be a place where you stop learning. So I think it's really important that you always try to, even if you just walk up and ask someone at a barrel race that does really, really well, and just ask them to give you a few pointers and tell them that you would be so grateful just to hear their insight because you look up to them. Most of these people are gonna be really forthcoming and excited to talk about it. Most of these people are gonna be stoked about your compliment and excited to help you do something. Now, one thing that is really notable here, I know I'm encouraging you to get a mentor. A lot of mentors have no idea what it is that has made them so successful. So it's gonna take a watchful eye to take 3 steps back and see exactly what it is that they do that maybe they're even missing about what they're doing. So for instance, one person may slide their hand down at a certain point, but tell you to do it at a different point. You may not even want to ask why it is that they're telling you to do those things, but in your run, try it the way that they do. So my mom used to always say, do as I say, not as I do. That comes from a lot of people not really being able to dissect themselves. We're not always as self-aware as we think. So watching videos of your trainer and comparing it to what they say to do is super, super important. Changing everything all of the time. This is typically what noobs do. So a noob is going to buy a new bit every week, look up new saddle pads, look up new equipment, look up new tie downs, new German martingales, new draw reins, new everything. A pro has got things in their toolkit that they know are super effective, and they've already been through all of that. So they have taken every single piece of the pie, they've tried all of those things, and they've narrowed down to a group of things that they know will work for them. For instance, I started out with like 60 bits. Finally, as my career evolved, I'm down to like 3 bits total, and those work great for me. Saddle pads, I have a couple of faves. Saddles, I have a couple of faves, and that's it. As far as gadgets, we are down to almost 0 of those. We don't use draw reins very often. We don't tie our horses back to their hocks. There's a lot of things that noobs do that pros simply do not. Also, if you change stuff all of the time, you never know what's working. So whether it be a new supplement, a new saddle pad, a new bit, what have you, try a little bit at a time. One thing preferably for a span of time. I like to do 2 weeks. That way you can accurately see what's helping or hurting your runs, your horse, or your performance. Okay, the very last thing is measuring progress. So this is just a few Amazon clicks away. You need to get you one of these and set a pattern for yourself. Write it down and set the same pattern every day for a couple of weeks and start measuring your progress. If you don't already have a timer, go to the link below in my description. I will get you guys the best timers that are hundreds of dollars cheaper than those other old-fashioned kind of timers. It has an app that goes straight to your phone. It times you down to the thousandth of a second, and it's legit the coolest timer ever, not spawns. When you set up your barrel pattern and you start timing it, you will start to figure out how fast you're going, and you can start getting a personal best. Then, in the next few weeks, you can change that pattern around. Start experimenting with a standard pattern or a really small pattern, or change it up so you know about what you clock on different patterns. Now, while there's only one true standard pattern in our sport, you can set your own standard. So a small standard, a WPRA regulation standard, etc., so that you have your own notebook full of progress, because anything you can measure, you can progress. Well, Chewie and I are all done with beginner tips for today. I hope you guys absolutely love them. If you love this and you want more of these tip videos, make sure to smash the like button, be subscribed, ding the notification bell, and as always, don't forget to count your blessings, drink your protein, and say thank you to Jesus. See you next time.